But this morning at approximately 7:15 this morning, we had a mother who approached our firehouse here at 34th and River Park, rang the doorbell, and safely surrendered a healthy baby, an infant, to our firefighters. Again, that was about 7:15 this morning. Our firefighters received the child, performed a quick evaluation of the child to make sure that it was healthy, that there were no injuries, that all the vitals were okay, and immediately notified EMS as well as LMPD to start LMPD to the scene as well as a med unit. EMS arrived shortly after. The child's care was handed over to EMS and was soon after transported to a local hospital for further evaluation. All of this was made possible because of Kentucky's safe haven law, where a mother can safely and securely and legally and anonymously surrender a child if she's in a crisis situation and feels like she doesn't have the means to take care of that child. So we want to commend the mother for the action that she took and the decision that she made. A few things that we also want to make sure that we're clear on here and that we share with the public is, first off, again, we want to remind mothers that this is an option. If you're in a crisis situation, through the Kentucky Safe Haven law, there are facilities in Kentucky where you can safely, securely, anonymously, and legally surrender a child to firefighters, police officers, and hospital staff. So those are fire stations, those are police stations, and those are hospitals. So again, remind everybody of that. Also understand that there are resources that are available to mothers that are in situations like this, not only through the fire stations and police stations and hospitals, but also through Safe Haven Baby Box. And I'll share information with you on that, the work that the Safe Haven Baby Box does, not only through lobbying for laws that were passed to allow this to happen, but also the work that they do working with facilities like fire stations to install baby boxes, where we've had one recently installed in a Louisville firehouse, and we plan on a couple more over the next year or so. The third thing is understand that this is a safe option, and firefighters are here to assist. We're here 24/7. This is a staffed firehouse. All of the Louisville fire stations around the area are staffed 24/7 with professionally trained firefighters who are well aware of the law and who are well aware of the procedures. We're all EMTs. A lot of us are parents ourselves, mothers and fathers, so we understand how to care for an infant as well. So understand that that's who we are, and that we're here to assist you. So please choose a safe option. And then the final thing that we want to say is we want to praise the mother, right? We want to recognize the decision that she made in an incredibly difficult time, what was likely a crisis situation for her. We don't know what her situation was. We just know that she needed to make this decision, which had to be incredibly difficult. And so we praise her for that decision that she made in approaching the firehouse and ringing the bell and ensuring that the child was securely left with firefighters who were perfectly capable of caring for that child and contacting the proper authorities and making sure that the child remained in safe care. So we want to make sure that she understands that. We also want to make sure that, along with all the other mothers that could be in similar situations, that she still knows that there are resources that are available to her. The number for Safe Haven Baby Boxes is 1-866-99-BABY1, BABY1. So again, that's 866-99-BABY1. So whether that mother hears this tonight, or if there's another mother who's out there in a similar situation with a difficult decision to make, understand that there's resources available for her, and just like they're here to help, the Louisville Fire Department, firefighters around the area, police officers, hospital and medical staff are here to help as well.
So because this is a staff firehouse, that's kind of replaces the need for a baby box. Is that my understanding? Is that correct?
So far we have one baby box in a firehouse, so it's a new thing, right? It hasn't been around that long. Only for a few years have we legally been able to place a baby box in a facility. So it's a new thing for the Louisville Fire Department and the fire departments in the region throughout the state. Indiana was the first one to pass the law. Kentucky recently passed the law. So with that being said, we do have the Safe Haven law that allows a mother to safely and securely and anonymously surrender that child to firefighters, to police officers, to medical staff at a hospital, at a police station, or at a fire station. This firehouse does not have a baby box. We do plan to install baby boxes in other firehouses around Louisville metro area soon, but this one just hasn't been updated to that point. You know, there's a cost involved, there's labor involved. It is the baby boxes that we do have, one thing that we learned pretty early on is they're very intricate pieces of equipment and machinery. You can imagine with such precious with such a precious item being placed in the box, a child, it has to make sure that it's heated, that it's cooled, it's climate controlled, also that all the sensors are in place to make sure that the firefighters are notified, and if they're out on a run and they're not in the house and the house isn't staffed at that time, that somebody else, EMS or the next firehouse or a battalion chief somewhere down the line knows that a child has been placed in there. Locking systems to make sure that once the child is placed in the baby box, the door can't be opened up again. So there's all kinds of safety concerns that are built into that box and that are handled through that box. So it's a process, and we're working with Safe Haven and other organizations, vendors, donors, to try to get those boxes installed in as many firehouses as we can. But at this point, we only have one that's installed in a firehouse.
But the arms of a firefighter is pretty good.
The arms of the firefighter is just as good of a place to put it. I assure you that our firefighters are incredibly professional individuals, men and women. You know, when they come on, there's an extensive background check, polygraph that they take, and then on top of that, once they are hired with us, they go through 6 months of training, including the EMT course. So they are incredibly capable and incredibly well prepared and educated for the task at hand if a mother decides that this is the route where she wants to go to surrender her child.
Of all the things that you do, where you're interacting with people at incredibly emotional times, how did what happened today compare to the other tasks that you have?
Okay, so that's a great question. So this is a unique task. This is something that we don't see very often. And we don't often have children that are surrendered at firehouses. When you all usually see us, we're fighting fires, laying hose lines, driving big engines and trucks, on car wrecks and things like that. So this is unique. It's a little bit different. With that being said, I think it's important to understand the type of person that a firefighter is and the men and women that we have. They're incredibly compassionate people. They're incredibly courageous people, as you all see all day long on the work that we do on fires and car wrecks and medical emergencies. But in a situation like this is where you really see the compassion come out. We provide, and our firefighters provide, dignity and respect to the most vulnerable. And a newborn baby is an incredibly vulnerable individual and incredibly precious, incredibly innocent. And I think our firefighters understand that. Very often they see situations that don't end well. So whenever there's an opportunity to serve in this capacity, they're eager to help. And you'll find that just in the nature of firefighters is that they're eager to help no matter what the situation, whether it be a structure fire or a toddler and a mother, or an infant, and a mother in a crisis situation.
I think 2016 is when the state law was expanded to give mothers a variety of options for dropping their kids off. How often has a baby landed at a fire station, or how often does a baby land at a fire station like this?
Sure. So I don't have exact statistics on how often or how many, but we see it. I don't even want to give a yearly basis, but it happens. So I don't have that. I can find it for you. What I will say is that the law that you referenced, where a mother can safely and securely and anonymously and legally surrender an infant, Louisville firehouses were also the original Safe Place locations. So in 1983, when the Safe Place organization approached facilities to make them Safe Place locations, the Louisville firehouses were the very first locations to be established as Safe Place locations. So you see the yellow sign on all of our firehouses. And again, that's due to the nature of our work, the fact that we're here 24/7, and our staff, our personnel, the men and women that work for us are incredibly capable and competent of any kind of care that may come through the door.
I know some of this you can't say, but is there anything you can say about how old maybe the baby was, if it was hours or days? So of course we don't know exactly how old the child was. What we can say is that it appeared to be a healthy
newborn. According to the law, the infant needs to appear to be under 30 days old. This infant appeared to be within that range of less than 30 days old, perhaps a few days old. But what I will say about the condition of the child, again, upon the evaluation of the firefighters conducted, they stated that it appeared to be very healthy. The child was asleep when it was received. It appeared to have been well fed. If an infant is sleeping, then that probably means that it has a full belly. So the firefighters were cautious to stay calm and quiet and to try to allow the child to sleep, which they said that it did, until they were able to hand it over to EMS for transport.
As a public safety official, how thankful are you that this didn't end the mom did?
Yeah, well, all too often we see situations end tragically. And so it's always welcome when we do have a situation where somebody makes a good decision, makes the right decision, and that we're able to help. So, it brightens the day for firefighters to be able to assist in this capacity.
So you said that another station already had one. What station is that, and do you have a projection on what other stations might do?
Yeah, so Griffiths Avenue, Engine 6. Over on Griffiths in the Portland neighborhood is our only firehouse that currently has a baby box in place. We have 2 that are in the works right now to be installed in other locations. We don't have concrete locations on where we want those. We have an idea of where we want those, and I would say those will be installed within the next 6 months.
There's a certain procedure, it looked like there was a legal procedure when I was reading the law that you have to go through. Did the mom stick around to sign any papers, or did she just hand you the baby and leave?
Yeah, no, so that's not required. She can anonymously and legally, as long as she is handing the child over to a firefighter at a fire station, she's not required to give any further information. Now, with that being said, she did leave a note just to provide some basic information on the name that she had given the child, and just some basic information on where she was in life.
It sounds like there was a minimum of conversation here.
Very little conversation.
Was it a boy or a girl?
We can't say that. Anything else? All right. Thank you all very much.